major development this afternoon as millions of Americans are preparing to lose government food assistance. A federal judge now says she may intervene to compel the Trump administration into using emergency funds to keep the SNAP program open. If not, 42 million Americans will begin to lose their benefits starting on Saturday.
It is day 30 of the government shutdown, and as the pain sets in for so many, lawmakers are scrambling. Today, Republican leaders are blasting Democrats' push for a partial reopening. Here's what House Speaker Mike Johnson told CNN today.
If you deviate from the goal of reopening the entire government, Chuck Schumer and the radicals over there will continue to play games with people's paychecks, their livelihoods. And if you do just part of this, it will reduce the pressure for them to do all of it, to do their basic job, and that is reopen the government. This is very real and very serious, and they can end it today.
CNN's Renee Marsh and Danny Freeman are following all of this for us. Renee, what more is the judge saying in this effort to keep SNAP money flowing?
Right. So there's this pot of more than $5 billion in emergency funds just sitting at the USDA. And the Trump administration said in court today that the agency was prohibited from tapping into those emergency funds to keep the assistance benefits flowing to those 42 million Americans who rely on it. The Trump administration's lawyers also said that the agency didn't want to use those funds. And the judge really pressed them pretty hard on this, asking where in the law does it prohibit using these funds to prevent the suspension of SNAP benefits, which, by the way, SNAP benefits have never been suspended or reduced before. But the administration's lawyers struggled to really give a clear and even convincing reason for why they needed to suspend these benefits. The judge at one point was so confused by the administration's arguments that she said, quote, "Congress has put money in an emergency fund for an emergency, and it's hard for me to understand how this isn't an emergency when there's no money and a lot of people are needing their SNAP benefits." And that really was a key moment. The judge indicated that she may ask the agency to explore reducing benefits because of the dwindling amount of available funds, as opposed to stopping the benefits altogether. That would be complicated because the USDA would have to recalculate how much specific states will get. Then states will have to recalculate how much individuals will get. But here's the bottom line. Come November 1st, the SNAP benefits will not be available for the people who rely on them. The judge says that she's going to be working quickly to come up with an emergency decision, but she clearly was not buying the Trump administration's argument that they had no choice other than to stop these benefits during the shutdown.
Thank you so much for that report, Renee. Let's go now to Danny Freeman, because Danny's at a food pantry in the Philadelphia suburb of Prospect Park. How are folks there preparing as so many of their neighbors are about to lose benefits?
Yeah, Boris, I'll be honest with you. It's incredibly stressful for a lot of people that we've been speaking with who have had to come here because their last SNAP check came weeks ago and they're not expecting it to come when this Saturday begins. And you've seen the strain because there are people who have kids. We spoke to a woman who has 4 kids and she needs to put food on the table, which is why she ended up coming here. So we're at Loaves and Fishes. It's a food pantry, like you noted, in Delaware County, Delco, just outside of Philadelphia. And I want to actually bring in Pastor Chris, you're the director here. Thank you for being with us. So tell me, what has the impact been that this community has felt because of this impending expiration of these SNAP benefits?
Sure. So we've probably seen an increase of about 30% in our families just in the last couple of weeks that are coming for a visit. So folks in anticipation of what's going on with SNAP.
And again, they're telling you specifically it's because of this SNAP expiration.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reality is that I think the figure is that for every one meal that a food pantry can provide, SNAP provides 9. And so we're extremely grateful. Like, the community outpouring has been huge in terms of donations and volunteers. Certainly could always use more, but you can't make up that kind of a difference. Like, you can't make up those 9 meals just with that.
Well, and I read that you had said before that, again, keeping the pantry stocked has been a challenge or a concern, right?
Sure, we could open up like another distribution so we could serve more people, but if we don't have additional food and resources to do that, then there's no way. It's not sustainable, and we want to be sustainable. And so it really is a community effort. Government, the local community, both those things work in partnership to make pantries work, and half of that equation is just missing, and there's no way to make up that gap by ourselves.
You've been doing this for over a decade here.
25 years. Pantry's been here for
Pantry
25
has.
years. I've been here for 5.
Right. So have you seen this amount of all of a sudden stress come in like this before?
So I've told people last Thursday, and I think just because of everything that's going on, last Thursday was probably the first day in my time that I was scared, because there's this sense that there's all this need. Even during the pandemic, we knew that there were additional resources that were coming in, but we're facing that kind of need again, and you don't have the security of those resources.
Well, thank you for the work you do, Pastor Chris. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for telling our story.
No, of course. So you get that, Boris. This is the stress that folks are feeling here, and also the importance of food pantries like this to really hold communities together as they're facing this, again, impending SNAP expiration on Saturday. Boris?
Yeah, and the limitations that they have, as he so clearly lays out. Danny, thank you so much for bringing that to us.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.